What's going on? You are awesome, and I am Goat. And I'm kind of getting that hacker itch, so I decided I'm going to make this video about Watch Dogs Online. We all know that Watch Dogs 2 will happen, and E3 is coming up soon, so there's a bunch of things I want to talk about, so let's get into it. First, let's stick to basics and talk about gameplay. The fundamentals are all in place. The time that it gives you to start a hack, finding a new area to initiate, the length of time it takes, the search area shrinking periodically through the hack. The basic concept is very sexy, invading somebody's game without them knowing you're there. But of course, the goal is always to improve. First and foremost, I would love to see more interactive environments. Imagine being able to walk up to a bench and sit down while you're hacking, or stairs, or leaning on objects like walls or inside of a bus stop. Even though these might not be ideal hiding places, of course, that was part of the fun for me. Being able to hide in plain sight, hacking somebody right in front of them. That is very exciting, and something like this would really allow that to happen. Something else that needs to be added is shooting while driving. This didn't exist in Watch Dogs, and I have to believe that this was a conscious decision from Ubisoft because they wanted the player to use the environment, the hack system, to stop who they were chasing. Unfortunately, I don't think there were enough ways to stop the person you're chasing. So, my vote is to add shooting while driving, or they've got to make some changes to the hacking so that there's more ways to stop somebody you're after. One major change that has to happen is the melee. The melee was terrible. You had to get exactly behind them and hit the prompt at the right time, and it's just like a one-button takedown, kill, whatever. There should be various choices for melee weapons that you can buy at weapon shops. Clubs, brass knuckles, a nightstick. And I think it should just be free swinging. If you get close enough to him and you hit him with a shot, maybe it'll kill him, maybe it'll knock him down, maybe it won't. But I think that's where it needs to go. In my opinion, I believe there were some balance issues with online hacking, mainly because it was really kind of easy to kill invaders. I quite literally probably only got fully hacked 1% of all the total times that I've been invaded. Now, I don't think it's because I'm some type of MLG hacker pro. I believe it's because there are too many tools for somebody being invaded and not enough for the invader. As everybody knows, Watch Dogs was in Chicago, so let's talk about the world. There's rumors that there's going to be multiple cities in Watch Dogs 2, which would be amazing, of course. It would add a ton of variety, different people, different scenery and architecture, different weather. Yeah, that would be cool. One big thing that I believe they could do with the world is to add more seamless interiors. Now, there were some in Watch Dogs, like the Quinkies restaurants, the gun shops and clothing stores, etc. Imagine being in a restaurant bathroom stall, or a packed nightclub, maybe in an office with a bunch of cubicles. Even just adding pass-throughs where you could jump through the window of a house and it would automatically take you through the home out the back door. That would make things more exciting. In Chicago and Watch Dogs, there were safe houses scattered all over, but let's be real. A hacker with $6 million wadded up in his trench coat is not going to be sitting around in an empty shipping container with a cot. What I would like to see is a true house, or a loft or apartment with a hidden door to the tech room or whatever that you can actually hang out in. Speaking of $6 million, I think there really should be more stuff to buy in the game too. Expensive rare items, vehicles, weapons, outfits, bigger and better safe houses. There are a couple of gripes that I have with the world in general. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when an actual player is driving a vehicle, the engine sounds different. Now, I don't know if this was on purpose too, to kind of alert the player being hacked. It's too easy. They need to take away that engine difference. When NPCs are driving cars, they do not sound the same as when a player is. Also, no NPCs drove motorcycles. I think they should give motorcycles to NPCs too. My next issue with the world in general is the police. When it comes to being chased by the police, they are hardcore aggressive, and that is cool. The issue is they stop chasing you when you hit the water or get into a train. The other issue is that when you are hacking somebody, the police will not come get you. Somebody will call the cops on you, you don't need to jam. It will initiate that little yellow search circle, it'll reach its 100%, it'll say they're calling the cops and they located you, but they will never come. Also, I think that they should add more modes of transport. It was really fun to drive around in ice cream trucks, taco vans, fire trucks, whatever. More stuff like that would be really cool because it just adds something fun to it. Also, I would love to see bicycles. A bicycle hack, that would be dope. Moving on. Next, I think we should talk about online game modes. Of course, online hacking is the bread and butter. Entailing also is a lot of fun too, so that has its place. I feel like decryption was okay, and it was a lot of fun actually in private games. When it came to public games though, it ran at like 5 frames per second and was laggy as shit. As far as having online racing in Watch Dogs, I think it's kind of poop. I never tried it. Maybe it was fun, I don't know. So what other game modes could there be? In my mind, I imagine like a free-for-all hack. Maybe 6 to 8 players with like a 10-minute timer. You've got a set map area. You get a contract that you're supposed to hack, but at the same time, somebody else in the lobby has you as a contract and they're going to try to hack you. Very fast-paced, very competitive hacking environment. Also, I imagine like a co-op or team hacking. This would have to be like in 2 separate rounds, one where you're the hacker, one where you guys are the hackies. And then of course you get points for like getting the hack and for killing hackers, etc. Could be kind of cool. I think it's time to move on. Now let's talk about abilities, tools, weapons. There was a handful of things that Aiden had at his disposal. I believe some should stay. Blackouts. If you don't say that you thought blackouts were freaking awesome the first time you did one, then you're lying to my face. Jamcom. Also very good. Needs to stay. What needs to go away, though, is the Destroyer. The Destroyer is the very definition of OP. The Destroyer just makes it way too easy. Here's what there should be instead of the Destroyer. There should be like a Shockwave EMP blast, just like an IED, but what it does is it scrambles electronic equipment and machinery within a very small area, very small, mind you. So if somebody's going to get away, you can't just whip out the Destroyer and just jack every car that they try to get into from 100 yards away. You'd have to actually be within throwing distance and hit that EMP, and then it would stall the car for, I don't know, 5 seconds, whatever you think. I think in order to also minimize how OP that could be, is there needs to be a cooldown on it. You can't just spam them out. There could be a good way to use this in 2 ways. Maybe it would scramble the ability to profile somebody too. So if you're hacking somebody and they start to get a little too close, trigger one of those EMPs and then get the F out of there. Maybe you can get away before they profile you, but you're probably giving away your position anyway. I kind of like that idea. So let's talk a little bit about the notoriety skills that existed. I think for the most part, they were just kind of like, whatever. Precision scanning was a very good one to get. It makes hackers a lot easier to find. I don't know if it should stay or go. A couple other things I'd love to see put into this game. Maybe a download boost. That could be an ability that you use when you're hacking. Kind of bump up your speed for a few seconds or a few percentage points, whatever it may be. I would also like to see some non-lethal tools and weapons, like a smoke bomb, a flash grenade. Of course, these would need cooldowns too, but it would kind of allow you a couple seconds to break line of sight and get away and hide if you've been caught. Another cool thing would be, just like T-Bone had, an RC car that has different abilities. I was praying and hoping that you'd be able to use that RC car in online hacking, but of course you can't. And then I think we should talk about characters. Yes, it's been beaten to death, and then dug up from its grave, and then beaten back to death again. Aiden has to go. Of course, Aiden didn't bother me so much because 90% of the time that I played Watch Dogs or more, I was actually in online hacking, and Aiden's personality doesn't matter. I think it would be really cool to have different characters to choose from when you're going into free roam or online contract stuff. Along those same lines, even if there aren't other characters, I think being able to customize the outfit is great. And there were a lot of outfit choices for Aiden. So even having something like that with just as much variety would be good. But what if you could customize everything? Like going into the clothing shop. Pick your own hat, pick your own sunglasses, a freaking mustache, I don't know. Mixing and matching, being able to like put on a hoodie and jeans or whatever. As far as having different multiplayer characters, I mean, imagine it like in Watch Dogs. Maybe you could pick like Iraq, Clara, Jordy. It's fun to have choices. All right, now let's go to the grab bag and talk about some miscellaneous things. First thing on my mind here is the reputation level. Oh, it's the vigilante. Call the police. It's just a pain in the ass. The issue for me is that when I'm mainly doing like online stuff, I had literally no chance. I was at Menace within like 2 days. You just hit too many civilians and cars when you're chasing. You shoot too many innocent people when you're shooting. I think they either need to get rid of it entirely or they have to make it so when you're in free roam or online mode, your reputation will not be affected. Another change, it's kind of nitpicky, but I would like to see this. When you're chasing somebody after you've profiled them, they're highlighted with this purple silhouette, and when they go around corners out of sight, you can still see them because of this silhouette. I think after somebody breaks line of sight for, 3 to 5 seconds, that should fade away and you don't know where they are anymore until you get them back in line of sight. This would be cool for 2 reasons. One, because it would make it more realistic. Nobody can see through walls. And 2, I think it would add sort of a sense of urgency, like, oh shit, I need to keep up with this guy or I'm gonna lose him. This would be awesome for the person who is hacking too, because you duck into an alley, you wait a few seconds, and you think, okay, they don't know where I am anymore. Take a hard left and hide behind these boxes. Something else good they could bring to Watch Dogs 2 would be more stuff to do while in free roam. I didn't spend too much time in free roam with other people, and I think mainly that's because all you can really do is go around and shoot shit. Ubisoft can take a page out of Grand Theft Auto's book and add a lot more things to do while in free roam. Well guys, that pretty much wraps it up. So, in summary, I'm super amped for Watch Dogs 2. I really hope that we get to see some footage or at least like a trailer or something coming up here at E3. These are all my opinions, so feel free to disagree with me. Add things to the discussion. I really would love to have a conversation about this. Thanks for sticking around and watching this video. If you guys enjoyed yourselves, you know what to do. I'll hack you later.